Hey friends, this is Mark Halleck, and I want to personally invite you to our biggest event of the year, the 2026 Replant Summit, August 25th and 26th in Alpharetta, Georgia. Now, this year's theme is Every Church Matters, Mobilized, Multiplied, because we believe God is not finished with struggling churches. You'll be encouraged through practical sessions on discipleship, community engagement, church renewal, multiplication, and more. Plus, you'll connect with pastors and leaders who understand both the challenges and the joys of the work of church renewal. Now, space is filling up quickly, so reserve your spot today. We would love to see you at the Replant Summit. Register at churchreplanters.com.
Welcome to Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton and Mark Halleck, where we equip pastors to take their churches from declining to thriving by pointing them to a new future and a new hope. Join us weekly for encouragement and practical advice in your pastoring journey.
So we continue with Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton and Mark Halleck. I'm Dan Hurst. Kyle Bierman at the controls, so if it doesn't sound good, we can blame him.
It's his fault. It's not that I'm always moving the microphone around.
Got to do the stink eye.
The stink eye. Give him the stink eye. Like your sound guy, right?
Yeah. Our sound guy, by the way, where I'm at right now, he actually hides. Nobody can ever see him.
The sound guy is he's like the offensive lineman that the only time you hear about it is when he does something wrong.
Yeah, right.
Right? So you look back
They
at
need
the sound.
encouragement.
They do need encouragement.
And it's always like, we need to find another one. Like, they're all the same, dude. They're all the same. All right, so we are in enjoying the podcast room, actually, that's brand new, developed here at Fellowship West with Pastor Matt Clough. And in our last session, we were hearing how God started him as, first of all, he was damaged very young in life when he went to Canada and spent a week with Clifton up in Canada.
Montreal. That's right.
And since then, God has been doing the healing process.
He spent a week with Jean-Marc.
Oh,
I was Jean-Marc in Canada.
This is Gen X phase.
I was
the year age.
Jean-Marc. We lived at 7 La Marche in Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue.
All right.
Do you speak French, by the way?
Oui, oui.
Are you fluent?
I am
Are you fluent?
fluent.
He just said everything he knows how to say.
Or is that? Oh, that's what I'm wondering.
Je suis fatigué.
Oh, well.
That means I'm tired.
You whiz, but that's impressive. Okay, sorry. We
Okay.
never talked about this, so we.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I am not fluent. I actually got kicked out of French school. I went to Montreal to plant a church. I took French in high school. So I'm thinking, I can do this. So I go to Montreal, and the kid I took up there with me, Danny Moore, to be one of my interns. We decided we're going to go. They have free French classes in Quebec. But we walk in there, and it's 8 or 9 women who are like Arab women whose husbands work in Montreal, and then Danny and me. So we're the only 2 guys in the class, right? And so we're supposed to do our work. I can't do languages. I went up to plant an English speaking church.
Okay.
On the English part of the island, right? And so, but I thought I need to learn French because I don't know where to park because all the signs were in all the French were. I was always getting tickets because I couldn't tell the weeks, And I was not the best student. And so about the second or third class, our teacher, who was Mademoiselle Charlotte, she came to me and she pointed to me and she asked me in French to give me my phone number in French, and I couldn't do it. And then she said, "I think you need not be in this class anymore. You're not taking it seriously." I got kicked out.
You're kicked out.
I got kicked out. I know a little French. All right, I know enough.
Well, you sounded pretty confident.
Jean-Marc. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so why are we even here? Oh, we're here for Matt Clough.
That's right.
Thank you. And so Matt came to Montreal as a high school kid and served in one of our mission activities up there and got to know him. But anyway, Matt, we're here in Kansas City, Kansas, and Matt replanted the church in a little town called Bonner Springs, about 15 minutes from here. And then that church adopted a dying church about 15 minutes from them called Parkview. So for 5 years, Matt was preaching in both campuses. Neither church could seat much more than 150 people. And they were having 2 services in each church. So that's where we are. You got 2 services in each church. You're preaching 4 times a Sunday and Where are we now? So what happened?
A lot's happened. We are now in a new location, all combined together.
So all both churches came into one place.
Yes.
And so how did you get this? First of all, we're in a big building.
It's a big building.
This is a big building.
It's 66,000 square feet.
66,000
Sitting
square
on
feet
20 acres.
and seats 1,000 people.
It seats 1,000 people. In fact, the worship center for either one of our locations would almost fit in the foyer of this church.
And
That's wild.
we are
Yeah.
within a stone's throw of the Kansas Speedway, the NASCAR track, and we're within a home run, let's say, of the new Chief Stadium that's
We're
coming
very
down
close.
here.
And on two of the main thoroughfares, I-70 and
Yeah.
and 435.
And you can see it from this is an amazing
Great
location.
location.
Unbelievable location.
Yeah.
Have 20 acres out here?
Yeah.
It's
That's
crazy,
great.
man.
Yeah.
So how did you get this?
Well, it really all started about 3 years ago. This church, Open Door Baptist, was going through a transition period.
Now, it was not a Southern Baptist church.
It was not. It was Independent Baptist.
Independent Baptist.
They were. And a leadership person reached out to me was not with the church during this actual transition. But they lost some people to us during kind of a church split that had happened. And he said, would you consider kind of taking over here? But nothing really happened. But it got this church on my radar.
Right.
So whenever I was driving through this area, I would occasionally stop by in the parking lot and pray. I would kind of think about it. If it was on my mind, I'd pray for it. But beyond that, really nothing had happened for about 3 years. And then spring of last year, actually on April Fool's Day, the senior pastor who had been here resigned at Open Door. And I immediately started getting text messages from people in our church who had come from this location during that split. They're saying, hey, have you heard? What do you think? And so I kind of sat on it for a couple weeks, and then I just texted one of our guys who is now in leadership at Fellowship West, but had been in leadership at Open Door. And so, do you think there's an opportunity there? We were out of space, trying to figure out what to do. And so he just reached out to one of his friends who was in leadership at Open Door. And within a matter of days, he set up a meeting for us to meet. We actually met over at our Parkway location, the Legends property. We met over there, and then a guy by the name of Stan said, how about we go tour the facility? Have you been in it yet? I'd never been in this facility. We came in, we walked through, and in fact, I have a picture of me and Stan on the stage, April 27th of last year.
Okay.
Where we met, and we prayed on the stage here. We walked through it. And so I started getting really excited. I thought, oh my goodness, like, what an opportunity. I see the space. I see what could be. I see just where it is in location to the city. I mean, where we are right now in this podcast studio, in a 20-mile radius, it's estimated about 1.1 million people live within 20 miles.
Is that right?
And based on the North American Mission Board numbers on the website, about 20% of those claim to be born-again evangelical followers of Christ, which means there's 880,000 people within a 20-mile radius that desperately need Jesus. So I started getting excited. I'm reading the numbers. I got excited. We started having conversations. I met with their deacon board who was kind of running the ship. And about half of them got excited. And about half of them were very anti any potential of merger.
Well, they were Independent Baptists.
They were Independent Baptists. We were Southern Baptists.
There were some differences.
There were some differences.
What would you say were some of the main, what were some of the main differences, or maybe concerns that they had?
I think some of the main things that some of the conversations about women in ministry were some concerns, and I think everything that happens in the SBC, I think sometimes it gets blown out of proportion. And so while there are, I think, honest discussions that need to happen about women in ministry and being true to what the Bible says, got blown out of proportion to where some were saying, well, women can't have any voice at all in the church. They're not even allowed to serve. They can't do anything. The SBC, they hate women with kind of the view instead of, no, we believe that we are complementary pieces to this whole entire deal. And
also, I think Independent Baptists, I don't want to speak for them, but their name is Halleck. It is Independent Baptist. And so that's in their DNA, not to be part of a denomination. It's almost like that's that's the
It
third
is.
rail.
That's our brand.
We don't want to
Yeah.
get. That's my brand.
Yeah.
My brand is we are on our own. We're not
Yes.
gonna. We don't go down with anybody else's ship. You know, if we become part of a denomination, then we have to kind of go where they go.
Yeah.
So that was a huge. And some of
It
you
was.
guys who are working in.
Yeah.
Some of you are pastoring independent Baptist churches, even though you're a Southern Baptist pastor. Some of you are looking at an independent Bible Baptist church in your community that's almost dead, and you'd like to merge with them.
Yeah,
I think Matt would be a good contact for you because he had to be very patient,
I did.
extremely, much more patient than you normally are.
Yeah, our last two mergers, and I'm not a patient person,
No.
I'm a driver.
Yeah.
Our last two, from first conversation to vote and being finalized, was 2 months or less.
Oh, yeah.
And this one was almost a year.
Yeah.
But also, it did help. I grew up IFB.
Did you?
In North Carolina.
Okay.
All right.
And
You know.
Speak the language.
And so I understood. I thankfully came out of that, and
Okay.
and all those, when we came to Lenexa Baptist. But I went to IFB Christian school, so I knew the language.
You knew the language.
I knew some of the theological differences,
Sure.
so I
Yep.
could speak the
Speak to
language.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
huge.
cool. So once really, the Lord just changed their heart.
They did, but over the summer, they did something that Steve Dighton and I had asked them, or recommended them not to do, and they started a pastor search team for one half and a merger team for the other.
Oh, well,
which is very dysfunctional. And so I was on sabbatical when that happened, and so when I got back from sabbatical, I was told, "Hey, we have these two teams." And I felt like it wasn't healthy, and the last thing I ever wanted to do was to be part of a church split or hurt the church just because I want to get a bigger building. So we actually pulled out of conversations.
So you pulled out.
I pulled out.
How many were they? How many was attending here when you came, or before you came?
115,
Yeah.
120.
About 100 people is what I heard.
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah.
Especially
if-
in a building that seats 1,000 to
Yeah.
1,100.
Right.
But I pulled out of it. I got back from sabbatical, and in August or so, I pulled out of conversations. I just told them, hey, I'll help you however I can. I don't want to be a part of a church split. There's too much stuff going on. Like, there's things being said that aren't true, and I don't think it's healthy for the church, and your church or the church that I lead. So
Sure.
we pulled out of conversations, and I kind of assumed it would be 18, 24 months before we talk again, because they decided that they would then interview some pastors. And then what they had were no resumes that they said were really worth looking at or interviewing. And part of it was, frankly, that the language of their pastor search kind of thing that was out there really kind of led from the standpoint of the senior pastor will answer to the deacons and kind of do the bidding of the deacons. It's kind of how, if you read through the lines, what it said. So I think guys like me who are driven, were like, I don't want to go into that.
Sure.
You fast forward maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and I started getting emails, text messages, phone calls from people from Open Doors saying, hey, we apologize for how things happened. Will you talk to us?
Well, and I think I want to take a minute here. A guy that needs a church building, and here's an amazing church building on 20 acres.
Yeah.
It took a lot of credibility, Matt, for you to back out and say, you know what, this is going to be damaging to this church. And you said something very important, to our two churches or our two campuses.
Yeah.
I think, guys, sometimes you need to understand that when you merge with another church, that's going to impact your church.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it does.
It's going to change it. It's not going to be the two together they're not going to Velcro those things together. It's going to be a whole new culture.
so true, man.
And if you've got a really healthy culture over here and an unhealthy culture in this other place,
Yeah.
you have got to make sure the Lord is in this.
Yes.
Or you're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
And I loved your wisdom in saying, you know what, this doesn't feel right. I'd like to have a building, but I'm not going to do that. And to back out was a really important thing to do at that time.
Very wise.
And, and that came through prayer and fasting of myself and our leadership team. All of us
Okay.
had prayer and fasting leading
Awesome.
up to God, what do you want us to do?
Very good.
And we'd ask our church to join us in that.
Right.
I think I've heard you talk about tactile patience on your podcast
I
a
did.
lot.
Well, thank you.
So I've heard that a lot.
It's a good podcast.
It's a good podcast. And so
So the real reason for all the success was your time in Montreal and my podcast.
that's very true.
All right, I'm
It was
good.
beneficial. But it was, that they started asking me to engage in conversations, and I really was not interested. I thought it's too soon. There's no way it's healthy or good. The first time they called, I put on the back burner. Second time, put it on the back burner. It was 3 or 4 weeks straight of them calling, texting, and eventually almost begging, please talk again. And finally, one of their guys called and said, "Hey, like, I promise you the heartbeat here has changed. Just please sit down for at least a conversation." And so I gathered a few of our leadership people to come with me.
And again, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I will. The danger in that is your people back over at your original campuses, you don't want to keep getting their hopes up. And
I don't want to yo-yo.
Yo-yo, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the
I was
problem,
very protective of them.
the problem you get into when you're looking to merge with another church is every time you're going to have a conversation, your church doesn't know where you're going with this. Are we moving? Are we not moving? Are we going? Are we not? Oh, I guess we are. Oh, I guess we're not. And you know how distracting that can be to your overall mission. So it is, I realize you were in a very difficult situation because the two campuses you had were maxed out, growing, doing great.
Yeah.
And here's a church that has really a history of tremendous problems.
Yes. A lot of problems.
A tremendous problems.
Yeah.
And so had good prayer and fasting.
Yeah.
Patience, and caring for your church you have now,
shepherding them through
more than willing to trade them in just to get a bigger building.
Yeah.
All right? Good word.
Good.
All right.
And I think what made this one harder was our last two replants. When we kind of took over there's no ties from those churches to our people. And this one, there were so many ties that anytime I had a conversation,
they knew it.
My church knew, so I couldn't do it quietly to figure out if it was going to work or not. Like it was kind of a very public thing.
Yep, exactly.
So I walked very slowly.
Okay.
I asked them to bring people with them to the table who had publicly been speaking out against the merger.
No good.
And who had been very publicly against, maybe even antagonistic about it. And because I wanted to hear what's really changed. We sat down in that building and we gathered here with some of my team. And I really thought it's not going to go well. I honestly came fairly closed-minded, but we've been praying about it. And but as they began to talk, there really was a different spirit in the room. And there began to be people in the room who had been against the merger, antagonistic, who began to publicly repent, asking forgiveness of their fellow church members, of what they had said and been a part of their attitudes. They began to ask me for forgiveness. And we're talking like,
that's incredible.
One of the gentlemen just started weeping, saying, "I need you to forgive me. I was wrong. Here's what I was doing. Here's why I was against it. It was selfish. It wasn't kingdom-minded. I didn't want to lose power and control." And started listing off all these things. And so at the end, I was like, my goodness, I think God may be in this. So we prayed about it for another week or two, and then I got back around with them and I told them, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to really have transparency with your people. So I want to come and preach on a Sunday morning. I get a feel for your church. Your people get a feel for me. But then after service, I want to do a open mic question and answer time, which they begged me not to do. They said, "You don't want to do that."
Right.
Some of the people are still, antagonistic. It's not going to go well. And I'm a big believer in transparency. And I thought if we have curated questions, then it's not going to come across as transparent. And I'm a big boy who can handle people being mad.
Yeah.
So I came and I preached in December. And I got to preach, and people seemed very kind of bristly and standoffish at first. Within 10 minutes of preaching, my wife kind of described, it felt like the spirit in the room just shifted. It's like it's like the Holy Spirit just fell, hearts softened, people engaged, responses, invitation, really just a sweet spirit. Yeah. We had about a 10-minute break after the message for me to kind of gather my thoughts, drink some water, and then we started the question and answer time that went for a little over an hour and a half of just being peppered with questions. And some really hard ones, frankly. But I answered as transparently and honestly as I could to the questions that I had to answer for. And afterwards, their church decided that they wanted to move forward with voting to merge with us. And so that was in December, and in January they voted to merge with us, which was shutting down their church, doing away with their constitution and bylaws, fully coming under our leadership structure, which is completely different. They were deacon-led. Their church voted on everything, which frankly was part of their issue. It gave more opportunity for people to fight because their way wasn't being done. and it was like 97% of the church voted to merge.
So a good question. We're doing a series on deacons right now
Yeah.
here on the podcast. So the former deacons at the Open Door Church,
Yes.
what are their role in your new church?
They have no key leadership role currently. And now many of them are leading small groups.
Okay.
Part of our security team, greeters.
But they didn't become deacons at your church.
No. The way we have it in our bylaws is you have to be a fully functioning member of our church to be able to be a deacon on finance team, personnel team.
So what was your first Sunday in here? What year? What month?
It was in March.
In March of 2020.
2026. Is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Not very long ago.
How many showed up on your first Sunday?
We had like 900.
900.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
it was wild.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I just, you know this podcast well enough. We don't fixate on numbers except when it serves our purposes. And no, I just want to affirm Matt to show up at Bonner Springs,
Yes.
little church in a little part of town that's sort of a backwater town, being faithful there, and then God giving him Parkway, a second campus, and now God given him this amazing facility at a major intersection that can seat 1,000 people and nearly filling it up. So, Mr. Clough, what did you do with your original building in Bonner Springs? You and Lenexa Baptist, how much money did you put in fixing that building up?
I think the initial number was more like $175,000, $200,000 initially.
Initially, just to move into it.
That was just like year one, 12 years ago. And then since then, it's been a lot more money of renovating, fixing, redoing parking lots, roofs, all the things.
So hundreds of thousands
of dollars.
And the building looks immaculate. It's a great facility, one of the best looking facilities in the city of Bonner Springs.
Yeah.
So what did you do with that building now that you moved over here?
We gave it away.
I'm sorry, you did what?
We gave it away.
You gave it away?
We did, to a church plant.
You gave it to a Southern Baptist church plant?
Yes, we did. It's a city that I deeply love.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're talking about. This is kingdom work.
This is a model for
God gave you this
right.
building.
Yes.
So you gave away that building.
We did.
Good for you. Who'd you give it to?
Another church planter when I was planting here, Matt Miller at New City, has done a great work over there in Shawnee, and they have planted and replanted churches all over the metro.
They have.
And done it very successfully.
They have.
And so for me, it was very important to find a church that I believe would last, and that would not just be a kind of flash in the pan or all about themselves, but would serve a community well. New City's had a history of serving their community really well.
They do serve their communities.
And they had a church planter for them, Darren Wallace, who I got to meet, who was meeting in a school, who was about to lose the school. And he had a lot of core members in his church from Bonner Springs. And so we were able to give the church to them. And they've now been in there for, I believe, 4 Sundays have happened since they launched.
That's great.
And he's doing a great job loving that community, serving that community. And for us, it was very important to me. I love that city, and I did not want to abandon that city.
Absolutely.
I've served there well. I'm still the chaplain of the police and fire department, still connected over there. I'm still doing funerals for the funeral home director in that community. And it was important to have a church there that continued to be a light. That building's right across the street from the middle school and high school on their main thoroughfare.
Yeah.
It's really a key place for Bonner Springs. And so Darren's going to do a very good job there.
You gave it away. And then we got to hurry here, but the Kansas City Chiefs are moving out here, and they're building their new stadium out here.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Parkway. I said I was the interim there in 1992.
Yeah.
They came out and built that church out there, thinking that it was just housing was going to grow all around it. Housing never grew around it.
No.
To this day, there's no housing.
No houses.
It is stuck out there all by itself.
That's part of the problem there.
It's always been part of the
No
problem.
neighborhoods.
And now that the Chiefs Stadium is coming in there and a data center, they're not going to be houses out there.
The other houses are there going away.
Right. So what we do say, guys, is that Jesus has a plan for every church. And we do say, though, there are rare instances where there's no neighborhood or the neighborhood no longer exists. And if the neighborhood no longer exists, then there's probably not a need for a church to be there. Now, that's the exception, not the rule. Most churches that close have people right around them who need the gospel.
Yeah.
But I would say Parkway is one of those places that, especially with the stadium coming out here, it's going to be all commercial. It's going to be completely different. And so the Lord did a really cool thing in your willingness to be faithful the way you've been all these years, Matt, and then give your other building away. You're able to sell the Parkway building
Yes.
and sell it at a really good price because of all the development that's come in the last 5 years, the commercial development, not residential.
Correct.
And this building you're in now, here, the Open Door building, has a debt still on it.
It does.
So you'll be able to take the Parkway money, pay that debt off.
Debt free.
And that's great. See how God just is so wonderful. Hey, listen, we're going to put in the show notes, we'll put the website for Fellowship West.
Yeah.
And you can learn more about it. You can follow Matt on that. Yeah. If you've got any questions about merging, about taking other churches, about anything, Matt would be glad to talk with you about that.
Can I also tell you one more exciting thing?
No.
I got one
more.
more.
God.
I got one more.
Come on, bring it, baby.
I got
Bring
one
it.
more. Open Door had not really seen their baptistry stirred
oh,
in
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
We've baptized almost every Sunday since we've been here. Wow. We baptized our 25th person since March 15th yesterday. Have a lot more scheduled.
Yeah,
we're talking everything from kids up to senior adults. 3 weeks ago, led a father to Christ. He's one of our police officers. I'm a police officer, police chaplain. And as he's there praying for salvation, his high school kids are in the room, and he's praying for salvation in front of them and prays for their salvation. His son accepted Christ this past week and will be getting baptized this coming Sunday.
Well, praise God.
Listen,
so
I love
I don't
God's
wanna,
doing big things.
I don't want to overwhelm Matt because I know he's busy, but man, go to his website, look at that. If you need to talk to somebody that would encourage you and lift you up, I know Matt would be willing to do that.
I'd love to do whatever.
And also, Matt's got great insight in community relations and community. Look, tell me, you said something earlier between the podcast that guys will call you because they're looking for the magic sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the magic sauce to take it? What is the magic sauce? What do you tell them? What is it?
There's no actual magic sauce other than we pray.
You pray.
We fast.
You fast.
We preach the word.
Preach the word.
We love people well.
Yep.
And we try to do things with excellence.
There you go.
Love it.
But I believe it's the prayer and the preaching the word and loving people. To me, that's really our secret sauce. It's nothing.
That's it.
It's no program. It's just be faithful.
When Fellowship West started at Bonner back in 2014, my wife and I joined there initially, and we're at Lenexa now, but we joined there initially. One of the things I can absolutely say without a shadow of a doubt, all those things Matt mentioned are very much core of who he is and how this church is successful. But there's another one, guys, and that is hard work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt works hard.
Yep.
He is not. There's not a lazy bone in his body. He loves what he does. He goes all out. And he works hard.
Just happen.
It doesn't just happen. It takes work, doesn't it, Matt?
It does. It does. But I feel like I have the greatest job in the world. I get paid to do this. To me, I still blows me away. So I feel blessed.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for opening up this building, letting us come and be here at Fellowship West. Yeah, we'll come around more often now that we know you're here. I don't live that far away, actually.
Yeah.
Live over in Baser. Live pretty close. We go to Lenexa. That's where we're members.
Yes, sir.
They have a Saturday night service.
Yes, they do.
I call it Mass.
Yes.
No, the Saturday night service works well for Mrs. C and I because when I'm gone on Sunday mornings, we still get to do church together. So that's why we go. And my wife loves Lenexa. And Chad's a great pastor.
He's fantastic.
He's a great preacher. So Lenexa is a great church. Lenexa has their footprint all over this.
Yes, they do.
This whole thing would not have happened without Lenexa. It's amazing how God just
in Lenexa is where I was saved and called to ministry.
That's right.
Right.
Man, it's so cool. When we get to heaven, we're going to see how all these dots connected.
That's
right.
Yes.
And even some of you out there who think my dot doesn't connect, trust me, your dot connects.
That's right.
God's using it in some way you don't even see right now. All right.
A big thank you to the North American Mission Board for making this possible. They kind of say, okay, don't embarrass us. We've kind of failed at that a few times, but we still appreciate their support. And thank you to Fellowship West for hosting us. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate you, and we appreciate what the Lord is doing in and through your life, and excited about what He's going to continue doing and the impact it's going to make on the kingdom. Join us on our next podcast. We have 2 of these a week, and we hope that you'll join us. And if you're using one of those platforms where you can subscribe, please subscribe. And the reason we ask for that is because the algorithm kind of helps get the word out. And as people are doing a search for revitalizing or replanting a church, then the podcast will pop up. And so we need you to do that. Thank you for that. See you next time.
Thanks for joining us today on Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton and Mark Halleck. This podcast is brought to you by the North American Mission Board, where we help dying or struggling churches regain health for the glory of God and the good of their communities. If you found this podcast helpful, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. To learn more about becoming a Replant pastor or to explore revitalization resources for your church, subscribe to our monthly newsletter at churchreplanters.com.